What's going on, everybody? C4 here, back. Free agency frenzy is continuing, and the biggest edge rusher on the market, especially after, Brandon Graham got locked up by the Eagles. Dante Fowler, 1 year, I think it was $14 million to the Rams. It looks like Trey Flowers will be heading towards the Detroit Lions to reunite with Matt Patricia. The exact wording on the details for the contract is not clear right now, but it's looking like it's about to be 15 to 16 to 17 in that range per year, 5 years. So you could surmise that it's going to be, in that $80 to $90 million range. Probably half of that will be guaranteed. Again, was trying to wait until the full length of the details came out, but it does look like Nick Foles should be signing soon. So I was like, let's get moving. Let's keep it somewhat in order and talk about this. And, the Detroit Lions have made some moves. They got Justin Coleman, one of the better nickels in the league. They brought him in. They got Jesse James, who's probably top 5 tight end that would be available on the open market. And considering in my last mock draft, I had them going TJ Hawkinson, the tight end from Iowa, maybe they're going to completely shift their priorities around. And then kind of, doubles up from where else I've had them going in the mock drafts, which is Rashawn Gary. And I think signing a guy like Trey Flowers, given the success of Deshaun Hand last year, they most likely could be out of the market for a defensive end in the first round of the draft. So, what you're getting in Trey Flowers, you're getting kind of someone that's like Brandon Graham. He's a Pro Football Focus all-star, does a lot of the ugly things that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet really, really well, like, setting the edge, affecting the run, letting other guys get off and have better games. There's going to be like QB pressures and stuff that just doesn't show up on the stat sheet. Trey Flowers is good, and plus he's familiarity. Matt Patricia knows how to utilize them, knows how to get the most out of them. So I think if you are going to be spending big on defensive end in this market, and you are going to understand that Trey Flowers is going to get paid, I would assume Detroit would be a good landing spot, because at least there's that familiarity. That he's coming in with a plan. It's not kind of like, let's tie it back to Detroit, when Philadelphia traded for Golden Tate. Golden Tate just looked like he was out of place in the Philadelphia Eagles offense. And how many times did the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator and stuff like we don't know really how to get Golden Tate involved, this and that. Like, that is an example of getting a splash signing and not really knowing what to do with it. So with Trey Flowers, well, yes, in terms of sacks, in terms of end production, kind of overpaid. The fact that it's going to be a contract, at minimum will be in like the high 70s, at most high 80s for a total contract. We don't know the guaranteed money, which is really, what makes this deal important, but it's going to be a lot given his age and kind of the rarity at the defensive end market in free agency. I think it's a good deal. It's a good deal for the Detroit Lions, and I think I'm actually from a Lion fan. You want to get that defense right. You want to come correct with it. I think they got Danny Amendola too at wide receiver. Poor man's Golden Tate is what he's going to bring to that offense. I personally thought that maybe they should have gambled with Brandon Powell as their slot wide receiver going forward, but that's just my Gator bias. But the Detroit Lions are going to be a team on the rise next season. I think. Their defensive front is going to, Deshaun Hand. I assume they're going to have Deshaun Hand, and then they're going to have Trey Flowers, a defensive end. You're going to have Kerry Hyder and Aquara rotating in. That's not a bad rotation. In the interior, you got Snacks, which was an absolute robbery from the New York Giants. A'Shawn Robinson, solid. You shore up those linebackers. Maybe invest in the draft at linebacker. You can look at getting another corner, oppose Darius Slay. There's not a whole lot of issues, though. You got a promising running back in Kerryon Johnson. Stafford is what he is. Jesse James is an all right option at tight end. I don't think that completely rules them out, but I think it does for the first round, addressing the tight end. You can look at the interior of the offensive line, upgrading that right guard spot. But, they're a team on the up. This is going to be a well-rounded team. And I think ultimately landing Trey Flowers, that's a big get. When was the last time the Detroit Lions made a big-time splash free agency signing? Was it like when they got Marvin Jones, which was kind of completely overshadowed by the fact that Calvin Johnson just retired? They just have not got big-name free agents. And maybe that's kudos to them drafting well. Maybe that's just how their management and organizational structure is set up. But, changing the culture here. Matt Patricia's changing things, saying, I want Trey Flowers. I don't care what it's going to cost. This guy here is going to help bring our defense to the next level and compete right away. And what I think could be a very open NFC North next year. With the Packers having some big-time question marks, the Vikings having big-time question marks, the Bears are going to be up against it. They'll be losing probably lots of guys in free agency they just can't retain. Like Amos is going to be gone. What's going on with Callahan and Jordan Howard could get traded. There's a lot of moving pieces on the Bears. So this could be the Lions saying, hey, we're going to try and compete and try to win the division next year. So what do you guys think about this Trey Flowers move? If you're a Lion fan in particular, I want to hear your thoughts. But for me, as a neutral that's looking at this almost now from like a mock draft standpoint, the signs that they have made have kind of helped clear it up where I think they're going to put their intentions early, day 1, day 2 in the draft. But what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We'll be bringing you live and hot takes as this free agency process continues. It looks like I'm going to have to just pretty much after this is up, go talk about Nick Foles as the numbers are coming in on that. So we'll be back in just a little bit, and I'll catch you guys then. Peace out.